is a tricky thing how heavy that ball is in Florida compared to here in Arizona to kind of make sure we're not overhitting. And we did actually play some doubles yesterday as well. So it is that adjustment where maybe your margin needs to get a bit better.
Water, waste,
strokes,
energy.
super easy to swing big.
The game is on. Together, let's fight the ultimate match, ecological transformation.
Younger players, fairly
Veolia.
new to the tour, kind of learning.
I brought in Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein. Those who tried me felt more energy in just 2 weeks. Here, I'll take that.
Ensure Max Protein, 30 grams protein, 1 gram sugar, and a protein blend to feed muscles up to 7 hours.
When the world sleeps,
nice approach shot there from
rises.
Genie. Good volley.
Training rigorously,
Genie Bouchard,
and
fantastic
pushing
length.
boundaries. The next level isn't just handed to you, it's
That ball
earned.
just sat
Go
right
next
up.
level, 6-0 pickleball.
And that's, I think, one thing that, Handle leans more towards the heavy topspin. Well, that's going to honestly just sit up right for Genie Bouchard. So, that's a little bit of slice, which I'd like to see if she could mix in more slices like that, then that's going to be more beneficial than trying to go everything heavy topspin.
Looks to me like she's moved her grip slightly more Western and whipping the ball a little bit more.
But you get the win.
It does look like it is a little bit more open.
The most important ingredient is you.
I think that's probably not
At
something that's gonna
Guaranteed
last
Rate,
too long,
we
because I've had a lot of women. We've kind of talked about this, and it's trying to hit with that kind of a grip on a regular basis when you're dinking or mixing in those shots does tend to create some wrist issues. That's and then again, when you've got someone with a more extreme grip, that's the exact time to be mixing in more slices, making that work, using the grip against them, basically.
But it's interesting, sir. I think, you've been around a long time. I've been doing the sport a long time. It seems like the growth of Western and semi-Western grips is happening more and more. Just like the growth of the two-handed backhand.
Yep, and I think it's interesting because, again, you look at the veteran players, you're not seeing that as much. There's a reason for that. There's a reason that those grips don't get used as much, because the longevity of them, the versatility. In singles, I do think you can get away with it a lot more because you're not doing as many change-ups, shots, but in doubles, it's very tricky to be able to have that all-around game if you're using drops and dinks. That's a part of the game that's not going to go away.
No, totally, especially in doubles.
Oh yeah. But I mean, this is kind of a big difference. We see men's singles versus women's singles. Women's singles, you ever see it a little bit more baseline, not as much coming in, a little bit of a size perspective. In the men's singles, there's a little bit more cat and mouse, a lot size perspective, how much you can cover. I think what we're seeing the last couple of points is simply Hannah committing to her shots a little bit more. And I think so. Something I know is a weakness that I see a lot with Genie, and again, it's a transition. That shot right there, it's that shot that you hit right when you get to the net, and it's that tendency to go straight from the baseline to the non-volley line. Well, she's getting her feet down at the exact moment that the ball is getting on her paddle. So if she decelerated a little bit more beforehand, she would be able to adjust to that volley a little bit better, give herself some time. But that is something I've seen that can get her in trouble. A lot of players struggle with that need to, I got to get to that line, but the timing is very important when you strike the ball.
Good angle.
And I think you could even see that right there. It's that tendency, Hannah gets pulled out, and the instinct is, hey, I've got to go recover to the middle. Well, that's opening Genie to hit behind Hannah, and then again, opening that court, putting her in defense immediately. That's a controlled shot. Good change of pace from Hannah Blatt.
Yeah, Bouchard got that one up, but she's using more touch shots than I've seen her use before. Not just blasting from the baseline.
Exactly, it's huge. Huge growth in her game. So I do like that she put the effort into slicing that as kind of a drop, but I think that's a more defensive. She's out of position. She feels like she needs to slice it rather than an offensive slice. What I do love about Bouchard's backhand is it's compact. It's a short backswing. That I think is probably one of the, for me, it's what I like best about her game. She's not overcompensating with a big backswing. It's getting her in trouble. Her short, compact stroke is allowing her to redirect the ball easier, make contact where it needs to be out in front, versus too much of a backswing there, and it looked like she wanted to drive it a little bit more, and now she just connects with the ball too late.
I think she's made progress on disguising it too.
Yep, absolutely, and that's where that short backswing comes in.
Yeah,
it's so much easier to be deceptive about your shots.
No, her two-hand backhands remind me a little bit of Georgia Johnson.
Absolutely, yep.
The same sort of stroke. Georgia's great at disguising it. She can quickly yank it cross court or stay down the line. Oh, and we've got
just a
kitchen fault on Bouchard. I don't think she was ever called for that in tennis.
No.
5-6, so we got a good close game here. Yeah, that was a little wide.
And I just think that, that's again that I think we've seen like phases where Hannah's been more committed to her shots. I just think when she's missing them, she's not quite committing, but she's deciding to challenge that. So she challenges again and loses the challenge, then it becomes a technical warning. So it can, I think it's a good rule adjustment, because you don't want to be players trying to use the challenge for timeouts and those types of things.
Yeah, that was definitely what we saw at the Masters, was people using the extra challenge as an extra timeout strategically.
Yeah. So I mean, mind you, it's pretty close, but that challenge really, a couple of free easy points for Genie after that. That's a great point from Hannah Blatt. If she lost that point, I would have said she needs to take a timeout now. You could see it kind of adjusting, but that's a good recovery after that.
Well, I assume what happens, Sarah, is you can do a second challenge, and if you lose that one as well, then you lose your timeout.
Yes.
So.
And again, it's so the technical. Oh, she tried to stay out, and she doesn't have a challenge right now, so she could challenge it.
It'll be interesting, Sarah, to see what kind of strategy players use. Because if you use like an early timeout, say there's a 4-0 run against you, use your timeout, then you're down to just your free challenge.
Yep.
So do you save your timeout as kind of a second challenge?
Exactly. So it's a tricky situation, and it's, again, I think this is a match where it's, you know, a little bit of experience. So both these players honestly are not super experienced on the pickleball court, but you have Genie Bouchard, who's ridiculously experienced in competition. Tennis, you know, she's dealt with many more stressful things. So it's the ability to move on from problems, those types of things. And I do love
Schedule.
In Arizona. Anna Blatt's going to get a
Reward
start.
yourself
Too. We'll see if she
and
can
girls
change
whenever.
your luck and change your strategy a little bit.
Stay or go when you wanna. And more
Gosh,
is
that- I
on the
mean,
way.
just that ball
So when
kicked
you're
off
ready
that
to go,
line, it's,
go with heart. Go with Southwest.
I think a little bit lucky, but it worked out, getting this kind of nice little roll drop.
Well, that's a tough hard corner because I mean, my world against
Yeah, that was pretty much an immediate call from both. Genie looked like she was, it was a good ball, and it's a tricky spot. We've got a decision, so that's the first thing. And again, our referees are going to review the angles until they feel confident on what that decision is.
It was pretty quick. That's
I mean, she was like, no, that was it. Sometimes you just feel it. You feel that the ball was in, and it's like frustrating. So, one for each, essentially. How often you're out there and we're sure of something, and it's not. It's, you know, we see things a little bit differently, and camera shows it. It's a very tough thing. We're making constant decisions on the court.
Cliff Bar gives you energy,
I think the side change could be
but you get the win. The most important ingredient is you.
That side did have a little bit more behind
At
it.
Guaranteed Rate, we understand that life is about more than mortgages. Our aim is to empower you on your holistic journey to well-being and longevity by helping you achieve your financial and personal goals. Our new, completely free Rate app focuses on community, nutrition, and exercise, as well as offering a variety of financial tips and tools. The Rate app was built to support your mind, body, and spirit, helping to simplify your life and reduce your stress. Download the Rate app and start living your best life.
Hey, I'm Ben Johns, and I've got quick hands. I'm Pickleball, and I like to hit hard. You know what? You're gonna need these. You're gonna need these.
Which kind of goes
Actually,
to show
no, these
that
are
that's
mine.
something we
Go get
talked
your
about a lot as players. Is there a limit for us? When
Ever
it's a certain
notice
number-
how
mind you, it's not-
seniors
it's
and
definitely
health
not here.
insurance
We're nowhere
commercials
close.
all look the same?
But there have been
Because
events
all of
where
these
the
companies
wind has
see
gotten
us the
to the
same,
point where it's almost
but not
dangerous to
Humana.
be out there.
They see
and
me.
Should there be a
Introducing
mild
Skechers
power
Pickleball, the
if
official
the wind is
footwear of the
blowing to
Carvana
that point
PPA
where
Tour.
you call it like a rain issue.
I think it is 18 miles an hour when they're supposed to stop.
Yeah, it's,
So we had that at the Masters for a while.
well, that's a huge adjustment. Yeah, what I really like about Genie's ball is she can generate some very good angles, really in an effortless way, I think. When that contact point is where it needs to be, she's able to really extend out nicely.
Ooh, that big backhand there from Hannah. Took a good solid, she was ready for it, good solid wind up.
That's kind of what I mean right there.
Hammered it.
Genie's going straight. She's trying to angle to the middle like she would on a tennis court, and the ball is passing her essentially right when she's getting there.
Blatt was there.
That's it's a tough one. It's like she's got the idea of it. She's trying to move her a little bit more, which is great. It's just she's got to commit to those a little bit more. Because that is that touch game, that change of pace. It doesn't necessarily come naturally. I think really good spacing and rotation coming from Hannah Blatt right now, which is making her shots a lot cleaner. Just a little sprayed, a little late on that ball.
It's a solid 6-1 lead here for Hannah Blatt. She tries to throw this to a game 3.
And again, this is, so what she'd said beforehand is she was up 8-3 in game 2 at the Masters, and Genie came back. And so, well,
stay
yeah.
down.
So when you're late, you can't stay down. That's just kind of how it works. So that early preparation has to happen so you can stay down on your ball. Again, so right there, she hits a great drop shot. That was a purposeful slice. But then it was kind of like, what do I do next thing? So it's that next shot that's really important.
It was a nice shot, but Genie hit a nice shot in response.
Absolutely.
Bouchard with a little bit of
and now she's kind of
run,
coming forward, putting a little more pressure, which is what she needs to do. I mean, it's a great pickup, and I think it's the right time to have a timeout because, again, we've got Donald Young versus Jaume Martinez-Vick in our next men's singles match on this court, so make sure you stay tuned for that.
Bouchard again.
I love seeing her hit those combinations of drops, trying to really make Hannah Blatt's contact point change. Honestly, whether or not she's comfortable with them, I'm so glad she's trying them and putting them in because that's a huge factor that's going to benefit her game.
Don't want to give those away.
That's good. That is something we actually talked about before, was that forehand volley from Hannah Blatt. And, she'd been overhitting them, and that adjustment from East Coast to West Coast. So that was actually, I think, a really big shot, a big point coming from her for her own kind of feeling confident behind the shot. But then we get that right after, and you could feel like a little gust of wind, too, right as that ball was hit.
5-8 now. Bouchard needs another run. Oh, that's a nice forehand volley.
Yeah.
She's really making progress on her volleying. That'll help her. One thing, Sarah, that I think helped Bouchard a lot was getting getting picked up late in MLP by Utah.
Yeah.
The emphasis on doubles there.
Yeah.
Can't just be a singles player in MLP. You got to be a doubles player first. And I think that experience helped her a lot.
Absolutely, and that's something we've seen a lot on the MLP side is learning how to play it all. You can't just do one, and it's more matches, the more experience, the better we've got, because the better you are in singles, you're not just playing singles. And we've seen that, like players like Kwang Dong go from a single specialist to having an all-around game. It's fantastic.
Whoa, a dead bang winner off the backhand.
I mean, that just one of those frustrating things. And again, so this is I believe the first time now so again, we're going.
Wow, this one turned around quick.
So such a huge turnaround, and again, this is okay. This is the experience of someone who's run, won massive tennis tournaments. She knows how to handle herself on the court, her emotions, and still maintain. That's a good leave, but if you recall a shot like that early in the first game, Hannah Blatt let go and it went like 4 feet in.
From the other side, though.
Absolutely, just true. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's a nice backhand.
Yeah, it's just clean, again, compact, and good timing of that shot.
Match point number 2. Oh, no, not on the serve return.
Yeah, nothing's worse than that. That's got to be frustrating. But again, I think that's great that we're seeing Genie Bouchard's game get better and better. It's, again, kind of shows you